So for those of you heavily in the Naruto community, you know there's always a desire for that really cool Naruto game. I mean, there's this fan project, if you haven't seen it, where it's basically an MMO that is World of Warcraft, but Naruto instead, and it looks really sick. You know, we're really fiending for that thing. So when Bandai Namco had a Naruto announcement, we're all excited, and it's literally just Storm 4 again. I mean, not technically, but kinda. Let's talk about it. Now, to some extent, this is a little bit of speculation, because all they've dropped is a single trailer that shows, at least we assume, gameplay. It could be mostly cinematics, and maybe they're hiding a lot, but it looks very similar to Storm 4. And while that's not a problem, and there's a ton of people that love Storm 4, there was a lot to be desired when it comes to that game. And honestly, there's a lot to be desired when it comes to the Naruto franchise in general. So it was really disappointing when this official announcement trailer for this thing they've been gassing up honestly just kind of turned out to be what seems like a bit of a nothing burger. So let's talk about what exactly is Naruto Ninja Storm Connections. Well, frankly, it's the next fighting game in the series Naruto Ninja Storm, and it is an entire new game. This isn't just an add-on or a DLC or even a remake of Storm 4. It is entirely its own thing. When it comes to campaign, they've already said that they're going to connect all 4 of the games, and you can kind of get the whole story in one. So story-wise, there's probably going to be at least a big chunk of it that is replayed from Storm 1 through 4 if you played those. And when it comes to the other stuff, well, frankly, we don't know a whole lot, but we do know a few things. For one, we know that we're getting the original roster back with at least 2 new people, being Indra and Ashura. Now, one last notable point is it is coming out in 2023, as confirmed in the trailer. That being said, I'm personally all not that excited, at least not as excited as I was, and there's a couple of reasons for that. For one, as I've already said, the game honestly doesn't look all that much crazier than Storm 4, and frankly, I feel like if they had new systems or new things in place, or it was a new game that was really going to feel different, they would have showed that off. It feels really weird to have an announcement trailer for this game that was hyped up, to then have the announcement trailer not show it all off. So sure, you know, there's a world where, hey, they haven't shown everything and it's going to be a really great new system and it's going to feel fun to play and awesome. The likelihood's just not high. And not only that, but my second point is honestly just the overgassing, so to speak, of this game. I'm not going to name any names, but there are quite a few people in the Naruto community that really tried to gas this game before it came out because they had their inside sources, they had chats with people, whatever, la, and they were hyping this thing up, which is something content creators really got to stop doing, okay? A lot of times, if I have my opinion and I think something might be really cool, I'll explain it with a grain of salt, and using one D&D as an example for those that have been on this channel for a bit, yeah, I understand that there's a world where that thing is going to suck and it's not going to be super great, but this is why I think you should be excited about it. And that's usually how I portray my thoughts because I want people to understand where I'm coming from. Whereas a lot of these other content creators just give you the garbage clickbait to say, oh my god, this game's the next best, blah, blah, blah. And then again, we just get the same garbage that we did. Now, to hop off the hate train for a second, the game might be good. And I hear you saying, hey, what's the point of this video? You keep saying it might be good, it might not be good, and well, that's just it. It's to honestly stop creating these really abnormal things of stuff that's not released or not out yet. One thing I would highly recommend is if the offer is there, don't pre-order this game. Now, hey, I'm not your sales manager, whatever the heck you want to call it, your bank accountant. Do what you want with your money. If you have been desiring the next Naruto Ninja Storm game, don't let me be the one that stops you from purchasing it, okay? But when it comes to these games, there's a lot that could be improved on. And I think even if you are an avid lover of the game, you would be very ignorant to try to say that these games are perfect or these games are even near perfect or near super great. So one thing we can do is just not pre-order the game. Don't give Bandai Namco a bunch of money and a bunch of resources for a product that they haven't proven is worth it yet. If we just get a Naruto Ninja Storm 4 clone, and that's what it ends up being with a few new characters, well, that sucks, and if everyone keeps pre-ordering the game, it's just going to encourage them to keep doing the same thing. Now, if you don't pre-order, and you wait even 2 or 3 days, that's it. you're going to see some honest reviews from your content creators and people that are going to get the game and are going to have an idea on it and a feel on it and can give you some honest feedback as to if it's worth it or not. Now, coming off the back of that, me saying not to pre-order it, again, you do you. But I want to end this video with some positivity about the game, because I don't just want to sit here and trash on it when, hey, there's a world where it's going to be a super sick game. And for one, new characters. It's really cool, and assuredly Indra and Ashura are not the only two to be announced. I would genuinely be absolutely befugled if those were the only two characters that they were adding to the roster. It would genuinely blow my mind. And frankly, if those are the only two characters they're adding to the roster for the new game, that's just ridiculous. Another thing to note is on the website, they actually mention that there's going to be a new original story. Now, whether this is in Boruto era or Naruto era is yet unknown, because it is like the title's Naruto x Boruto Storm Connections, blah, blah, blah. So it could be either or, which, hey, you might see some new stuff for Boruto, whatever, you never know. But there is going to be some fresh story content. It is not just an amalgamation of Storms 1 through 4. There is also new things. So if you are a big fan of the story mode that they have, don't worry, you're going to get some more stuff. Now, the last thing I want to mention as a possible genuine hype thing to think about is good netcode. Fighting games live and die on good netcode, and that's just how it is, alright? Now, that's not necessarily true for some of the older titles where they were played more in arcade and on LAN and things of that nature. But when it comes to modern fighting games with bad netcode nowadays just die out, because a lot of people just want to be able to boot up online and play some matches and have a good time. And with rollback netcode being as big and as popular as it is now for fighting games, and every fighting game community ever outcries for their game to have it, there's a pretty decent likelihood that Naruto, Boruto, Storm Connections, blah, 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 I'm just going to call it Connections from now on, fight me about it, gets rollback netcode. That's not announced, that's not a guarantee. They might say shove it and have the same netcode and it still feels really bad, but I think there is a pretty good likelihood that even if they don't have rollback netcode, it's gonna be way better than prior installations, which, hey, that could make the game genuinely pretty amazing on its own. Now, all this together wrapped into a nice, neat little package. One, don't get too overhyped, alright? Don't bite into the people that are losing their minds over 2 new characters, alright? Just hold on for a bit. But 2, don't think it's a trash can. We really haven't seen enough to tell ourselves, hey, this is an absolute no-go, do not buy. Let some more announcements roll in, and as some more information comes out, then hey, off of that, decide if you think it's worth or not. But nonetheless, if you want some Connections news, or you like anime, or you like D&D, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We do all of those here. And besides that, I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace out.